Today we will read the Harappan civilization. The term civilization comes from the Latin word civilis, means civil. The word is related to civis, which means citizen, and who are governed by laws of the city. Civitas in Latin means city. What is civilization? Civilization is a progressive phase of all-round development of people living within a given territory. It means that civilization is a progressive phase in which progress is made in all-round development in a given territory. It also means acceleration or growth in its economy. A growth in economy, like we can see many cities who have growth in the economy. The first civilization begins on the bank of river. Always the civilization mostly begins on the bank of river. The cities were larger, more populated, and more complex in the political, economic, and social structure in their social structure than the early Neolithic villages. Now, what are the features of a civilized society? There are growth of cities. There is a growth of cities. Surplus food production. Food production is more effective division of labor. The division means work is annoyed in a effective division of labor, which means the division of labor is in proper way. Development of structure and buildings, advancement in the field of science and technology, changes in occupation of the people led to the advancement of tools. Their major occupation is our agriculture. The first metal to was discovered was copper, followed by the mix-up of copper and tin or alloy of copper or tin bronze. The bronze were harder than copper. It was an ideal tool for agriculture, and this gave the name Bronze Civilization, as bronze was used as a metal in making tools and weapons. The four major civilizations which flourished on the river banks were the Mesopotamia civilization. It was in the river Nile and Euphrates Tigris, and the another one is the Egyptian civilization in the Africa. It flourished in the bank of river Nile. The Chinese civilization, it flourished in the banks of river Huanghe and Yangtze, and at last the Indus Valley civilization. It flourished in the river of Indus. The Indus Valley civilization is also known as the Harappan civilization. It flourished in Bronze Age from 3300 BCE to 1300 BCE, around the same time of Mesopotamia and Egyptian civilization. It was spread across the Indian subcontinent. Now, another question arises that who discovered it, or by whom was the Indus Valley civilization discovered? First, let us read about this thing. So, the discovery of Indus Valley civilization was made by Sir John Marshall. He is the Director General of Archaeological Survey of India, and he led his team to the Harappan site. He explored there many things like the ruins of Harappa. It was helped by Dayaram Shahni, an Indian officer in the Archaeological Survey of India. He dug and explored the ruins of Harappa in 1921. Harappa was the first site to be excavated. The civilization came to be known as Harappan civilization in 1992. Raklas Banerjee. Now we will see the photo. Raklas Banerjee, a team member, was informed by a Buddhist monk that there was mound which needed to be excavated because he believed it was a Buddhist stupa. While digging, Raklas Banerjee came across many unusual objects in the ruins. This was how Mohenjo-daro, meaning Mount of Dead, was discovered. Now let us read about another thing, that what are the sources by which we came to know about these things. So let us read. So the first source was the Great Bath. It is the one of the most recommended structure executed at Mohenjo-daro. It is signified because it revealed the architectural style of reached a high level of perfection. It implies that collective effort and proper channeling of river means it is showing that how high level can Mohenjo-daro be, and it is also showing that how collective effort means together effort, and proper challenging means they have properly done it of the labor of the effort of the labor. It has led many historians to speculate whether the Great Bath was used to carry out specific rituals centered on religious practice on the Harappan people. Means many historians is still searching that whether it was used for ritual, if for rituals. It is knowing still that is used for rituals or religious practices. It means as the assistant of ruling class, means there is a ruler who collected tax, and by this tax it enabled to construct this much huge public structure as you can see in the picture. So the Great Bath is a great source of information for the Harappa, that how it happened from the Mohenjo-daro. So let's just continue with citadel. So a citadel was constructed on a platform to give an elevated position. So here come one term, that what is citadel. So citadel is a high fortress made above the level of the city, means it is the above city as you can see in the picture. It is believed that this race platform housed the aristocrats of the state. So what is aristocrat? A member of high society. Like today we are having many members of high society like that only. This structure also indicate the political and social position of people in urban civilization. It also indicates the social position and urban and of people in urban civilization. So this citadel is a great information source of Mohenjo-daro. It is also another great source. So there are two terms, citadel and aristocrat. So aristocrat is a high member society. Like in today's society, we have many of them, and citadel is a building which is raised above the city level, means it is up the sea level, city level. So next comes seals. The Harappan seals are one of the most important archaeological sites that enable historians to reconstruct the past. The materials used in making the seal are mainly terracotta and steelite. The majority of those seals were rectangular. The shape are rectangular, oblong or square. They were excavated in vast areas where the Indus basin have also been found in other contemporary civilization. This primary purpose of the seals were probably to mark the ownership of property. It was used for marking the ownership of property. It was also used for trade and commerce. So let us read the important points. They gave us idea about how the trading practices, means physical features, dress, ornaments, and religion. It gives us idea of this. Another, it gives that they symbolize in the trading context with other civilization. Harappan seals in Mesopotamia sites indicates that Harappan people had trading relation with other contemporary civilization. Some of the seals have later engraved on them, which prove the existence of some script used by the Harappan for writing. Did you know that the Harappan script is one of the scripts that cannot be solved till today? Engraving of unicorns and humble bulls also appear on some of the seals. Some of the seals. Uh, Engraving is a word here which means, here the word engraving means the art of carving or design. So the main seal is Pashupati seal and is considered to be the important one. It shows a three-faced man, three-faced deity who is seated in a yogic posture. Yogic posture uh, in a with three-horn headdress and surrounded by animals. It is assumed to be one of the earliest depictions of Hindu god Shiva. The seal has been named after Pashupati, an epithet of Shiva. So next is bearded man. It is the next source of information. It is showing that about the priest or the nobleman of that time. These figures bear testimony to great access skill of the Harappan people. It also shows the great skills of the Harappan people, that how they build these things. uh, Another thing is that is a dancing girl. It is also a bronze statue that also shows the skill of the Harappan people, that how great they are in art. The major occupation of Harappan people was agriculture only, but they used to do other activity as well, like craft and many more activity. So another is the Harappan script. It is picture of a bird. It is not been till it's not been coded. So next we come to extent of Harappan civilization. The Harappan civilization extended from South Balochistan at Sultanpur, can we call it western border, in east Alamgirpur in Uttar Pradesh. It is the current district of Meerut. In north to Jammu Kashmir. In south it extends to Bharkatav. On present day, each and every many states are come under Harappan civilization. So the urban planning, here you can see another time the photo of the Great Bath. It is divided into two parts, the citadel, the lower town. As I have said earlier, the citadel is an upper area from the city, so it is divided. The street of the Harappans were straight and instructed each other at right angles, mean 90-degree, dividing the city into several larger rectangular blocks. Advancement sewage system. The Harappans use a advancement of the sewage system. Each house has a courtyard, a kitchen, everything they have. The building were made of brick and wood. All the houses had good ventilation system. So the doors and windows of the houses opened on the street side and not on the main road. The contribution of Harappan to agriculture is evident from two magnificent public buildings, the Great Bath and the granaries. So the Great Bath, as I have told you, that it is the one of the largest and most significant structure in Mohenjo-daro, measuring 108 into 180 feet with a bathing pool 39 feet long, 28 feet wide and 8 feet deep. It considered an open quadrangle and verandas on four sides. The water for the great bath was supplied with a well situated nearby. The pool was cleaned periodically by discharging the water into the drain connected to the main drain on the street. The pool was mean watertight with burnt brick. Means, as I have told, so the pool was watertight. The water cannot get out from there. So this is the example of the Harappan, that how great buildings they break and they. So next we come to the granaries. So the granaries were situated at four different sites: Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Lothal and Kalibagan. At Mohenjo-daro it measured 45.71 meter into 15.23 meter. So they were working floors which consisted of circular brick platforms. These floors were used for threshing grains, means they are used for threshing grains. The granaries has proper ventilation to prevent grains from becoming mild wheat. So what are the trade practices? Harappan, Mohenjo-daro and Lothal were center for meteorology. So you have noted the meaning of meteorology. Lothan and Chanudaro were places where beads were manufactured. External trade was carried on extremely. Means there were many centers of trade. Trade relation existed between them and the Harappans sometimes around 25300 BC. Means them means Mesopotamians. Lothal was important trading coastal town from where with Mesopotamia and other western area cities were carried on. Gold was imported from Karnataka and Afghanistan. Copper were mainly imported from Rajasthan and South India. Evidence proved that the barter system was the most popular method of trade. So what is barter system? So barter system is a way of exchanging. So one can exchange one good or service with another good or service instead of money. Means you don't have to pay money. So what are the weight and measures? They use regulated weights of measures was prevalent. So a stone weight, the smallest unit was 16 and the larger units are were multiples of 16. Transport. The model of terracotta ship was discovered at Lothal Dockyard. Lothal Dock is the world's earliest known dock. Boats were also used to ferry goods. For instead travel, bullock carts were chief modes of transport and communication. Art and craft. Dancing girl. The statue was made of bronze and was created by wax and coating of clay. It was heated, which in turn melted the wax. The hollow model, which thus created, was now filled with molten metal bronze, which took the shape of the object. Bearded man, as I told earlier, it represents the priests or noblemen. Terracotta figures use baked clay or terracotta to make toys and objects to worship. The terracotta figure of Mother Goddess is a unique piece of sculpture, strongly ornate. The large figure from Mohenjo-daro. The figure of Mother Goddess is adorned another known figure. So what are their occupation? Metalwork. Metals such as copper and bronze were used to make vessels, ornament, figures, tools and stone. Beads and ornaments they also use to make jewelry. Another is poetry making, spinning, carving and weaving. Many seals have been found with engraving of bull, elephant and unicorn. This is the way they use the poetry making. They also use ornament making. They are very good at this. Now another thing is script. Script, as you know, no one can solve it. It is a very good performed script. The last important reason why indus script remain a mystery and possibly most debated of all is a language. Language of script is still unknown, means it does not match with any other thing. Another obstacle, in fact, that all are found is in sign pattern and cannot be successfully read. No bilingual inscription had yet been found with which the Indus script can be compared. Now, religious practice. The religious practice was Mother Goddess Pashupati seal and they believe in nature. Now, what are they? They believe in black magic, and so they wear amulets, a bracelet, burial rites as a Hindu ritual. They take the ashes in urns and throw it in the river. Decline of Harappan civilization, natural calamities such as flood and earthquake, the invasion of by the Aryans, and eventual destruction, deforestation of the area that would have led to environmental wood was needed to produce bronze jewelry, bake brick, and make boats and furniture. It was perceived by some school of reason that this may be one of the reasons that led to the decline of civilization. The Harappan culture has thus left an incredible mark of history of India. The specialized skill, architecture and structure, planning of the cities, art, and many more things. So sewage is an important term which was earlier used. So it is a domestic wastewater going out of houses and factories. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.